Alright guys, so back with the part 2 of the video. This is going to be the yellow wire from the boost controller, and then that blue wire is going to be from the gauge itself. So I use these cool things from Amazon. You just kind of twist the wires together, put this thing over it, and then you heat the middle, and the middle has solder in it, and then it just kind of melts, and then the two wires are going to be, you know, pretty much glued together with the solder. I've pulled on these, they're not going to go anywhere. And then this is the gauge, or the wires from the AEM gauge, tapped into the wires from the boost controller, so that'll be for power and ground. And then I'm just going to kind of zip tie all this up here neatly. And then yeah, once you get these two wires together, you're pretty much done. I'm gonna put some electrical tape on these, and then just kind of, again, like I said, zip tie everything up, and then that's all good there. So then the only thing left to do is put in the O2 sensor into the downpipe, and then connect the one connector coming from the top of here to the O2 sensor connector, and then everything will be all wired up and good to go. Alright, so I just got this mounted up with some double-sided 3M tape. Looks pretty good. There's probably better spots to put that. I might end up moving in the future. I'm going to clean up the wiring here, get that all zip tied up and out of the way. I would be putting this back together, but I am going to be installing an RTD shifter, so I'll have another video on that pretty shortly here. But I have the boost controller mounted there. I'm going to get a tablet mount and a tablet to mount there, right in the middle above the hazard sign, or the hazard button. And then let's get into putting the O2 sensor into the downpipe. Alright, so as you guys can see, I started jacking the car up. So the other end of the part of the gauge, you'll want to run, again, it'll be going through that hole in the firewall. The other end will be for the O2 sensor. So what you want to do is have it routed. I'm going to feed it kind of back behind here, down towards the ground. So we'll feed it down through here, and then go underneath the car and connect everything up. We'll connect the O2 sensor in, and then plug the O2 sensor into this cable. Then we should be good to go. Then we'll go ahead and get into how to set up the controller. Alright, so now coming under the car, essentially what you'll be doing is you're going to be removing one of these two O2 sensors, one of the two secondaries. I'm going to be removing the bank 2 secondary O2 sensor because I do believe that this one was going bad. And I'm going to be replacing the bank 1 O2 sensor with a new one. So I'm going to be replacing this one with the AEM wideband, and then what you'll essentially have to do with your tuner is run the bank 1 secondary to control all of the secondary cat readings. Obviously, being catless, you know, it doesn't really affect this too much. So what me and my tuner are going to do is just have this bank 1 secondary sensor do the readings for both banks, because it's just technically one downpipe, so it's not that big of a deal. And then so I'll go ahead and remove this. I have a O2 tool right here, just like a regular O2 sensor socket. So you'll go ahead and just put that on there, crack it free, unthread it, and then we'll fish the cable from the AEM gauge down through here, and then connect the sensor up. Alright, so as you can see, I have the new AEM wideband sensor threaded in. Let me angle the light a little bit better. Alright, so that's all good to go. I have the other end of the cable here. You want to make sure that the inside of here is clean. You don't want any debris or anything like that. So then I'm going to go ahead and fish the other end of the sensor harness from the engine bay, drop it down here, connect this up, and then try and route it as away from the exhaust as I possibly can. I did have to take this bolt out of my exhaust just to get the socket around the O2 sensor a little bit better, but I'll throw that back in now, and then we'll connect up this sensor and then go ahead and reconnect the battery. Alright, so as you can see, the one O2 sensor, female end connector, you're just going to leave unplugged, just connected where it was. The other one will stay the same. Let me see if I can get in here. So as you can see, the one on the right for you guys, that's going to be the bank 1 secondary O2 sensors, so that one remains in place. And then that is the one on the left is the AEM wideband. So I have that connected and kind of just ran up over there. I'm going to pull that tight so it's away from the exhaust manifold. And then yeah, this is being fed right behind the DME box. Once I lower the car, I'll show you where I have it routed. You can kind of see where it's going. So yeah, I'll lower the car and then pull that tight, get everything zip tied and out of the way, and then yeah, we'll be good to set up the boost controller. All right, so then after coming into the car, after reconnecting your battery, you're gonna wanna turn on the ignition, and then you're gonna wanna make sure that this reads 0. If it doesn't, you have to go through the calibration process, which involves, so if it doesn't read 0, you have to turn the ignition back off, turn the ignition on, and then hold the down button, and then it'll go through a process and calibrate itself. And then you also want this to read 0 as well. So then what you're gonna do is tap settings until you get to, let's see, display. Then you want to go to PSI, so set that, and then hold to go back to running mode. And then you're also going to want to set your overboost. So here, overboost, so you're going to want to set this to like a pound or two higher than what your target boost is going to be. So for the meantime, I'm going to just set this to 25 PSI, because when I actually get the tune, that's what it's, we're going to be targeting about that. So set that to 25 PSI, hold settings to save it. And then, yeah, so basically now what we're going to do is set up the lean rich feature. So that way the AEM gauge can talk to this. So we'll go ahead and do that next. All right, so to set up the lean rich cut, or the lean cut, first what you want to do if you have it set up, you'll want to go to input 2, and then you go through the buttons here and figure out which one suits you best. AF2 is specifically if you're using an AEM setup. AF1, I believe, was a different popular brand, and then AF3, or the other option, is for like an aftermarket, like off-brand one that you can set up through there. So you want to set whatever you have in input 2, and then go to let's see, so LEA, that's lean cut, and then you again go through the up and down arrows to set whatever you want your lean cut to be. So as you saw, I set mine to 13.5. So when I'm under 80% or more boost to target, if I go over 13.5 AFR, it'll turn the solenoid off and cut boost completely. So that's all set up. And then again, to save everything, you just hold settings and go back. Mine's flashing to 1.2 or 1.3 because I don't have the vacuum line connected right now. Again, because my manifold is off of the car. But that won't do that for you. If you have everything set up correctly, it'll just read 0.0. This is also reading 0 because the car is not on and it's not getting a AFR reading. So yeah, that's kind of how to set everything up. It's pretty simple. I would also just use the manual that comes with it to help you with all the instructions. I read the manual over and over, just to really make sure I get a hang of, or an understanding of how everything works. Just because you don't want to have any problems or anything like that. But yeah, these posi tabs worked really well. As you saw, everything's powered up and running. The connection, I have this button back up. So everything is zip tied up and out of the way. I have this kind of 3M taped. I don't really know if I like this. I might change how this is routed or drill a hole behind it and route it behind there. But for now it works. It looks pretty clean for the most part. But yeah, I will be coming back with you guys for a video on how to do the RTD shifter. That's going to be my next thing. As you can see, this shifter sucks. So yeah, once everything is good to go there, I will have that video out for you guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed the boost controller setup. I did replace the JB4 with this setup. I've heard it is going to run a lot smoother. And then I'm getting a full MHD custom tune from my tuner. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe for the RTD shifter video. And then don't forget to leave this one a like.